Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I found these 3 containers at the Dollar Tree, $1 each. They were bright orange, so I think a lot of people would look past them. But I brought them home and I gave them 4 coats of white spray paint, and then I added on these stickers that are also from the Dollar Tree. Numbering the fronts of them 1, 2, and 3 really made them just look so cute and gave them all sorts of personality. And then I'm going to take some black paint and I'm going to simply paint the edge of the top part of this container to give it a farmhouse enameled look. I think these would be so cute styled on a bookshelf or in an office or just in general on some type of a cute shelf that you like to decorate farmhouse things. So once you've gone all the way around the edges, I also ended up lightly tapping along the corners of the bottom and the side, and you'll see in just a second where I did that. But once all your black paint was dry, go ahead and take some Mod Podge and seal all the paint and the sticker all together so that it locks in really well. It can want to chip with this type of plastics even with you spray painting on it, but when you put the Mod Podge on, it really seals it in nice and tight. Today I'm partnering up with Josie over at Life at 50 and Beyond. She and I together are coming up with a theme where we have to create DIY storage items that have a farmhouse theme. Her channel is packed full of beautiful things, so go over and check her out. Let her know that I sent you. Leave a little flower in her comments to let her know you came over from my channel. If you're coming to visit from Josie's channel, welcome. My name is Heidi Sonboul, and I post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my 2 channels, my DIY channel, which you're here today visiting, and over on my home channel, my Heidi Sonboul Home. I will link those at the very end of my video and down below in the description box. These are the supplies we're going to be using for our next DIY. They're all from the Dollar Tree. I'm always amazed how when you take a bunch of random things and bring them together, it can make some really cool stuff. Now everything came from the Dollar Tree except for the long painter sticks. You can pick those up at any home improvement store. I picked mine up from Home Depot and they were $1. I think they might have been $1.25, and there's 3 in a pack and they're really long. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything off that's 3D dimensional on these signs, and we are going to just get down to the main baseboard. Now I know these were super popular around Easter time and they sell it really quick, so if you have other holidays that are past signs that are this shape, you are in good shape. You can totally use them. So go ahead and cut everything off, and then you can see here that I've got a piece of foam core board, and that's because we're going to use it as a base to glue everything down. And I cut it down to size to where there is a nice lip around the boards, and I'm going to have these painter sticks, and you can see here that I'm marking it because I want to miter the corners with my miter box. I'm going to link that box down below and my little handsaw. I get asked about it all the time, and I have lots of videos here on my channel where I show more in depth on how I use it. It is a tool I recommend using all the time in your craft room because look at how cool it is to be able to take that little saw, cut it without having to do something super scary and intimidating with big electric saws, and you still get that fun, really cool framed look. So here I am, I'm just making sure that I glue down all of my painter sticks first, and then I'm going to glue down those middle long signs that we are using. And I'm doing that because if you try to glue down the signs first, you might have a little bit of overhang or things just don't go on right. So it's better to do the frame first and then do the signs. Add lots of hot glue to make sure everything is nice and sealed and in place. Now you're going to take some spackles, some of this putty that you would use to fill in nail holes whenever you're taking down pictures, when you're moving, or just moving around pictures in general in your home, artwork. I'm going to take that and fill in all of those cracks and seams just so that it makes it look really finished and polished when we start to paint it. So once you've got everything on there and it's dried, you can go ahead and take some sandpaper and just rough off any of the stuff that is popping up or too textured that you don't want it to be there, and tap it off to dust. Now we're going to take some white paint. You can see here that I'm using house paint because I am trying really hard to not leave our house. We've actually have been inside our house a ton for about 3 weeks. And then this last weekend we had to go to urgent care because my daughter put something in her nose. We thought it was a pink bead from one of her jewelries that she likes to play with, and it turns out it was a little pink fuzzy pom-pom, and it was from a DIY that I did a while ago here on my channel. And well, she put that in her nose, and luckily we were able to get it out. And anyway, it was an event, we'll just say that. But we have not been out of our house, so I'm trying to use things that are all inside, and I recommend you all staying home too. So now you've seen here that I stained the wood with some water and paint, got it to the color that I liked, and now I'm hand sketching on my letters. I'm using my ruler to make sure everything is nice and level and spaced apart the way I want it to be. And now I'm going to go in with my black paint and a fine tip brush and just take your time. I really love hand painting letters. I talk about that a lot here on my channel too. You all, if you are returning, you know that I love hand painting letters. I just think that they're so fun. I do have a Cricut, and I do love my Cricut, and I will eventually show you all some DIYs soon with that Cricut. So those that do have them can use those ideas, but I always want to encourage everybody to practice their hand painting and their lettering, because it really is super therapeutic and just fun to practice handwriting. So once you've got everything painted on and you've taken your time to cover all of your pencil sketches that you've done and you let that dry, you're ready to move on to putting on your little baskets. Now again, these baskets are from the Dollar Tree. They have them over in all their bin sections. And I'm just going to do some pencil markings where I know I need to drill some holes so that I can wire on these baskets so that they don't fall off and they're nice and secure on our board. I want to be able to actually put fruit and things that kind of are heavier in weight. So we really want to make sure we're putting this on so that it's actually usable and not just decor. Now we're going to take our wire and we're going to slip it through the back, and we're going to be using 2 wires for each basket. And then once you've got those wires on, you're going to make sure that you thread that right on to your basket, and you're going to twist, 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 and make sure you've got it on there nice and snug. And then because you don't want anything to be poking, you're going to go ahead and take your pliers and you're going to twist and coil down all of your wires that are popping out. And then to make sure that it's really, really, really safe and secure, I like to tap it down really well and then add hot glue. Now this I thought was really fun. They have these in their garden section right now. These darling little tags, they're wood tags. I'm adding some hot glue and then coming around on the back side, and to make sure it doesn't fall off, I'm gluing the back side too so it's all meshed around that wire basket. And to complete the look, take some sandpaper and sand it down. Now I recommend everybody, if you do try these projects, please do tag me over on Instagram. I always love seeing whenever you all make these things. They're just so fun to connect with you over there. So come over and say hi to me. I cannot wait to get to chatting with you over there on my Instagram account. All right, our next project. This one is more advanced, but I want to promise you all it's worth the work, and it is so fun to build this one. I really enjoyed it quite a bit, and I wanted to share this one as well because sometimes I like showing really easy ones here on my channel, and sometimes I like showing more intense things. So what we're doing is we're taking some 8x10 frames. We need 4 of them, and we're going to be using more of those painter sticks because y'all know that I really love those painter sticks. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the frame first with my X-Acto knife, all the canvas that's on it, and I'm pulling off that extra so that I can keep those canvas pieces later and use them for other DIYs on another day. Now once I've got them all cleared and the staples are all removed, I'm going to measure these long painter sticks again, and you can see here that I'm cutting them down with my miter box again, and I'm going to make sure the size is right, and once I've got the size right, I'm going to make sure I cut the rest of them to go along the bottom. Now you can see here that we don't want to see this part that has the staple holes. We want it to be nice and finished on the top, so I'm going to go ahead and add some wood glue and hot glue so it's that long-term, short-term seal, so it lets it stay on there until everything's completely dry. Then on that, once I've got the two frames together, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to create a little bit of a shiplap look by spacing them out and stapling those down onto the bottom of this little box that we're creating. Now this is the coolest thing because so far this is super affordable and just so cute already. Now we're going to take one of those long painter sticks. We're not going to cut this one. We're going to do it right here on the side of this box. We're going to drill 2 holes. And once you've got your 2 holes drilled all the way through, you're then going to add some screws because this is going to become a tiered tray, which is going to be so cute. These are super expensive, and I want you all to see that with some Dollar Tree products and some painter sticks, you can make the coolest things. So once you've got that first screw in, make sure you shift it around so it's nice and straight. My drill died at this point, so I had to switch over to a regular screwdriver. And you can see here once the 2 screws are in, it's really sturdy, and I put one on each side. Now here is another one of those boxes. I've built 2 of them. Sometimes the boxes can be a little uneven because the frames can be a little wonky. They're at the Dollar Tree for a reason. Sometimes they can be a little uneven in their sizing. So I just took a little popsicle stick, cut it down to size, and put it on that part that you saw me showing there. And then what I'm doing is now I'm just making sure the measurement is right before I drill my next set of holes to add on to the second tier to this little tray that I'm building. I just think that this would be so cute displayed on a table, or you can also use it during parties and put food on them. I love these so much, and they're super cheap to make. So now to make sure we really secure everything, I'm just going to add a couple staples on the frames that we glued together. You don't have to do this, but I wanted to make it really strong and sturdy, and I have a staple gun, so I went ahead and did it. Now I'm going to take my plunger stick. Yes, I said plunger. Dollar Tree sells plungers, and they have wood dowels. So I took off the plunger part and I took the dowel, cut it down to size with my miter box again, and I'm drilling holes so that I can add in some screws so we can have a handle at the top of our tiered tray. So go ahead and start that first screw in your painter stick. I always like to drill to make sure that it doesn't splinter anything. And then once you've got it in place, go ahead and drill everything together. Now this dowel is going to want to turn and rotate on you, so just make sure you hold onto it as tight as you can as you start to screw together. Now at this point you can paint it whatever color you want. First I started painting it white, and I always paint everything white, and then I thought, well, hold on, maybe I'll give it some blue because Coastal Farmhouse has been on my mind a lot since I want summer to be here so bad and I want to get outside so bad. So I'm going to go with a really pretty icy blue, and then I'm going to distress with a darker blue, like almost a teal, and some brown to give it that weathered beach look. So I'm just going around all of the handles and the outsides of the boxes, and I decided not to paint the shiplap painter sticks that you see on the inside of my tiered tray boxes. I decided I wanted to give it a wood look so it had more of a beachy feel. So once I had on that first coat of blue, I'm going back in with a darker blue, and I'm just dry brushing on some darker blue to make sure I give it a really pretty textured look with those different blues, almost as if it has sunned out for a while and it's faded over time. Now I'm going to take that same mixture from earlier, and I'm going to again use water, brown paint, and a little bit of black, and then I'm even going to have a little bit of brown paint here because I want to keep adding it in while I'm also adding in that watery mixture, and it just makes it look so beautiful. Once I've gotten all over that first top tiered piece, I'm going to go ahead and move down to the bottom. Now you do want to make sure to not make it too watery because that can start dripping all over the place. So just take your time and let it absorb. I went over each piece probably about 2 times to make sure the paint really absorbed in. The more you keep playing with it and adding in the brown and the black with the water, it really does make it look like that beautiful beach driftwood. So once you've got that all painted and it starts to dry, you then can go back over with some brown paint. This is when I'm really starting to distress things, and you can see those colors really starting to come to life. And then where the screws are, I wanted to make them look a little rusty, so I added a little bit of brown paint. And then you don't have to do this part, but I thought it would be really cool to add on some numbers on my tier tray. So I'm going to do a 1 and a 2, and you technically could put whatever you want on these or not paint them at all, but I sketched on my number first, and now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to hand paint on my numbers with some white paint and a fine tip brush once again. And just take your time, because whenever you are painting through these wood slats, it's easy to kind of it gets a little tricky right around where those seams kind of meet up, and you want to take your time right on that spot. So once you've got that all done and the white paint is dried, you then can go back in and sand it to rough it up. So again, it looks like it's just been, you know, out in the sun and been used for many years, which I love that look. And then you're going to distress it a little bit more with some brown paint, and you can style it however you would like for many seasons to come. Leave a comment down below to let me know which was your favorite project that I did today. And don't forget to go over and visit Josie. Josie, thanks so much for partnering up with me today. I cannot wait to come over and watch your video next. That's pretty much it for this video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until the next episode, bye friends.